You're listening to the RMTV podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the RMTV podcast. Geordie, mate, happy Easter.
Happy Easter, mate. Did you get some good chocky bunnies in the fridge?
I did, mate. I've only had a couple, but I'm going to rip into them, mate.
Got it.
You know,
Got it.
I was too busy watching the rugby league, but how you been?
Oh, mate, look, long weekend, always good. Bit sore, got a couple of bruises from sport and that.
Yeah.
We're
Was
right,
it a bit of baseball?
Bit of baseball showed up,
Did five?
No, mate, this was like a national tournament, thank you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A WA team, a Queensland team, and two New South Wales teams full of college kids and Australian players.
SA Bite?
Nah. South Australia and Victoria were too scared. They didn't come up. They were too scared.
Yeah. Well, must
have been scared of the New South Wales boys.
Well, what a weekend it was.
What a weekend.
I always say it, the Easter weekend, it's one of the underrated public holidays.
Yeah.
Maybe it is up there, but I think a lot of people look at Chrissy and the end of the year and think it's good, but you get your Friday off.
You get your Monday off.
And you think...
You get footy on both.
Yeah, you think, oh, well, rugby league's done, and then Easter Monday, we're going to dive into it. Another cracking game.
What a game. What a game. We just watched it. What a game.
Just fresh off it. Wasn't a Moses field goal, but...
I told you it wouldn't be, but he did get injured, and I did say that would happen.
Yeah, well, is he injured, Moses? Is he hobbling around?
He was hobbling around. He had something wrong with his thigh. He'll probably blame that later.
Well, and mate, Roosters got the 4 points. That was nice.
Yep, got a nice little 4-point turnaround with the win against Manly last week. Thank you.
So let's get into it. So, to kick things off, mate, Thursday night.
Disgrace.
I tipped Manly because I had this funny feeling, right? Anyway, so Manly 52, Dolphins 18, up at KO Stadium. And wow, Manly just came out of the gates, and Fozzie would have been like, he talks like, boys, like...
He's had about 30 packs of cigarettes.
Yeah, like, boys, just go here. I won this club of comp. And then Jakey would... Yeah, yes, boss. Yes, boss.
Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. 3 bags full, sir.
Fozball.
Yeah, Fozball, apparently.
What did you think about it?
Dolphins didn't play that well. I think pretty much any team in the comp apart from St. George would have beaten them. I have questions about Manly, but I'm going to save that for a bit later when we talk about it a bit later, when we bring this subject up again. But look, Manly just dominated every part of the game, and it frustrates and angers me, but I won't ruin that yet.
Yeah.
It was just the Finns played like crap and Manly made them pay.
I like even if Siebes was coaching, I was going to tip Manly. I just said a win was coming, and that's what Jakey was saying. Like they sensed this win. I think Tommy said it maybe. They sensed the win was around the corner, and boy, they turned up. And
mate, if Siebes is coaching, they still win this game.
That's what
the coach is not the reason they won this game, and anyone who thinks that is a nuffty. I'm sorry, but you're a nuffty.
Yeah, right. So yeah, okay.
It's not the coach that made them win 52-18.
But yeah. We'll dive into that. I thought Fogarty had a good game. That was his best.
Yeah,
even Brooksy, he was not too bad. But I thought Fogarty, he was finding the line a bit.
Yeah, but he also just he kind of finally worked out. But Manly's strength, as we've seen all year, when they do score, it's that long range try.
Yeah,
and if you shut down that long range try for Manly, you're going to shut them down. But they, the Finns gave them space and they made them pay. What was it, like 3 or 4 tries that were over 50 metres?
Well, that's the thing. We know the Finns can put points on, but defensively...
They got nothing this year. They won't make the 8 at this rate. They won't. They'll be lucky to make top 10 at this rate.
It's, very early days. And, I thought, mate, Homole, wow.
Actually put in an effort.
You can't tame him, can you?
Oh, well, the Roosters did.
Yeah.
The Roosters did, no problems.
And Friday, mate, Good Friday. You see, you circle this one on the calendar.
Yep, the Easter Bunnies are always playing. I mean, the Rabbitohs are always playing.
So Souths 32, Dogs 24. I think we all tipped Souths here.
Yeah, I think we all did. Maybe the intern tipped the Dogs, maybe.
Yes, he did actually, yeah.
Typical intern, doesn't know what's going on.
I think where Bulldogs are at currently, still not picking Cherry. The whole halves.
I want to talk about Cherry. I want to talk about that subject.
Yeah.
Did you hear Cameron Ciraldo's press conference after the game?
Oh, I don't think I called it, no.
So I was listening to it because, I was just sitting there waiting for the Riff and Storm game. And he said, when you lose your main communicator on the field, you need to get a communicator out. And that's why O'Sullivan went out and not Sherry to play left. Well, O'Sullivan went into the halves and Burton moved to left centre. I'm sorry, but if your main communicator in a football team is your fucking left centre, your halves should be fired, which further proves Galvin and Burton are not doing their job.
Yeah. So what, is he? You reckon he's saying Cherry doesn't know how to talk, mate?
No. He what he's saying is he's like O'Sullivan's a great communicator. We know that he's had reasonable success wherever he's gone.
He's been
a
very
good
solid
backup. He's played behind Cleary for years. He was up at the Dolphins behind Katoa. He played a bit with Katoa until Nicarima broke out. But you're going to tell me that when your left centre goes down and you've got a guy who at one point, and by one point I mean last year, was in origin contention to go on and play left centre, you're not going to use him? And don't play this whole, we weren't sure if we're going to bring Crichton back on. Well, if you're going to bring Crichton back on, that's fine. You could have just straight swapped them.
Yeah.
Like, Sherry must be on the outer. And look, he'll probably get picked this week.
Well, we have to get picked because Crichton's out for, I think, six weeks or something.
The only thing I could see, and I mean, the Dogs are just... They're a bit in shambles at the moment, right? If they pick Burton at left centre, Galvin at 6, O'Sullivan at 7, I would put money on the Dogs to win this weekend. I don't even... Well, get close to winning. They're playing Penrith, so they're not going to win, but get close. But if they pick Sherry, at least you know he's not completely dead to the club, but, mate, there's something going on there.
If they don't pick Cherry, right, he's got to get out of there.
Mate,
Yeah, I think the painting's on the wall.
The writing's already there, so like I think he's gone no matter what.
But I think
it's just a matter of where and when.
I think it's, as you said, shambles before. I think it's a good shambles because you look at St. George, and that is a shambles of something, mate. But
no, you know what it is? It's a curse of Toby Sexton. They dropped Sexton, and they've been shit ever since.
Yeah, I know, mate. And all Souths, didn't they have a cracking game? I thought best game they've played all year.
Offensively, yeah.
Yes, offensively. Cam Murray running hard at line. Kalomatangi, he had a cracking game.
Murray with that little grubber through try. That was nice. And Murray's a bit of respect for Murray. He was out of the game last year with everything that happened, and he went hard. No,
they did well. And Fafita, he did a bit.
Fafita was Fafita. He hid until he needed to.
Yeah, and I thought Jai Gray had another cracking game, mate, as he always does.
Every week.
I thought Trell stood out.
Yeah. He still had a couple of little... Let's call them... Are we going to call them indiscretions?
I think... You know what I call it, right?
What do you call it? I've been waiting to hear this.
I said this to Rolly at the bowler. I said, mate, when I see Trell... When he gets up for these big games like your Good Fridays against Roosters, mate, he's just moving cattle like he's at Tyree.
He thinks he's at Winnemara?
He's just moving the cattle, and he saw Connor Tracy just moving him, right? And he's just got that in him. It was, obviously it was terrible what happened.
Do you think it was dangerous what he done to Connor Tracy?
Yeah, I think nothing happened.
No, they didn't do anything out of it. There's no charge. But do you think it was dumb, stupid, and dangerous, or just one of those things that happens?
I think he's just moving cattle, mate.
Okay.
No,
Connor Tracy's an interesting looking heifer.
Yeah, look, if he's tackled him a bit low, but if he's gone up, tackled him from behind on his head, then you think,
yeah, for sure,
stupid as. But he's got that in his game. But I thought, he even like little kicks. I think they got a good amount of resets as well on the line.
Yeah, good.
But I think even they said they were pretty disappointed the way they've won against the Tigers. Yeah. So I think
Wayne was very disappointed.
I think Wayne was pretty happy with that win. But even though Dogs they crawled back.
Yeah, South's defense just wasn't there, and I think that's the most disappointing thing because I did back South 13+. Bastards ruined it for me.
They almost had it.
They almost had it until they let that last try go. I think at times South's defense is still clocking off, and that's an issue that Wayne needs to look at. Offensively, that was probably their best game that they've had for a long time. Even going back to last year, they were smart about things. Even that Finns game early on in the year, they scored 30 or 40 points, but it just something about Friday. They were on.
And something about Friday, something about Penrith.
Talking about Freaky Fridays.
Mate, the Riff 50 against Melbourne 10. Melbourne haven't lost by 40 since the 2008 grand final against Manly Warringah. And I think
they haven't had 50 put on them since August 2003. And that was that Dogs team of 03, 04 and all that.
Mate, I watched it like a lot of people, and it was like it's the whole okay, like who's gonna stop him now, et cetera, et cetera. But I thought, mate, every time Penrith just touched that ball, it just turned to gold.
Yeah.
The one that stood out for me was when I think Cleary went to Sorensen, and he just did this nice little flick.
Oh yeah,
mate, they looked unreal.
They're at a point now where they're normally ahead so early they can chance their hand with things like that. And when Penrith chance their hand, it's very rare it doesn't come off, and it is a purely a scary thing when it doesn't when it comes off, because they're just freaky, man. They're just absolute freaks.
And against Melbourne, mate, it's unreal. And I think as well, Isaiah, I think he said ABC Sport at full time, like, you know, we're still looking for that 80 minutes performance.
Nah, boys, you found it. You found it.
I think
you put 50 on Melbourne.
And wouldn't it be nice if they put it like 80 on Dogs?
Mate, honestly, I reckon we could see a 50-point win. Not them put 50 on them, but a 50-point win against the Dogs this week.
Yeah. Man, it's
scary.
We'll talk a little Penrith in Dribble of the Week, but they look good, man. You compare them to all the other years. This time last year, I think they were sitting at the bottom.
They were running 17th.
So we can talk if they've peaked early, but
could be. We won't know.
Have the Saints peaked early?
Mate, the Saints peaked last year, and it's all been downhill ever since. The Cowboys were not good enough to win by 32 points. Like I watched majority of the game. I think I missed maybe 2 minutes of the start. Yeah. The Cowboys were not that good to win 32-0. It was horrible.
It was one of those games where you kind of actually you feel for the people that turned up.
Oh, did you hear the fans booing them?
Oh, rightly so, man. Like their attack was just dog shit, right? Yep. They had nothing. They had no answers. They'd get to the line and they'll just do some one-up stuff, and then their last plays were just
one out, and then just put up a little chip and hope for the best.
I've seen under 6 teams, right, have better attack than the Saints.
My under 12s have a better attack than that. Not that I don't have under 12s anymore, but when I did,
what's the big Saints fan name?
JC,
Jean-Claude.
Yeah, he blasted them.
He does, mate. He does like to blast them. But
you know what? I don't think he's wrong. With what he said about this performance, I don't disagree with him.
And guess who tipped Saints?
You, wasn't it?
I just thought, you know what, at home, you just think, for the sake of your fans, you turn up at Cogra, get a win on the board, and it was against the Cowboys. Like, if that was Penrith, boy oh boy.
Mate, if that was Penrith, I think we could have been looking at like 100-0.
Oh, mate,
and I don't think Penrith would have stopped. It's scary. But you know what'll happen? Saints will show up against like Penrith and somehow like make it an 18-12 game or something ridiculous.
Yeah, or like an Anzac Day game.
Yeah, no. They're going to die on Anzac Day. They're going to show up. They're not going to be ready. They're going to lose by 50, please.
And this one was a good one at Seabus. Sell out at Seabus, mate. Broncos 26, Titans 12. And I thought, look, there was just stages where Titans were in it. They were having a crack. Yeah. I just think the class of the Bronx just guide them home.
Yeah, you know, the turning point for me was, did you see they called it forward on Gold Coast when they looked like about scoring, would have made it like 18-16 Broncos with a kick to come.
Yeah.
That forward pass, and then Broncos went down the other end of the field and scored on the next set. Like, to me, that was the moment that changed. The whole game, I think Titans were in it. They were up for it. They were competing. At times, they were a bit soft, but, you know, Broncos lost a few and there's some injury concerns there, but I think that, like, that moment, if they get that try, I think we're talking about a 2018 game.
Titans win.
Or Titans win, or, like, you know, Broncos only just get past.
It was only a few years ago, mate. Oh, probably pre-2023, but where Titans actually had the wood over the Bronx for a bit there.
Well, this is actually the first time that Payne Haas and Khalees Haas have both started, and Payne's won.
Right, okay,
so
wow.
Khalees was 2-1 against his brother, and both of those two were starts.
Yeah.
So, you know, the older brother finally got him on one.
I think the Titans, you'll just see they're gonna lose a lot of close games this year.
Yeah,
but you can't diss it because they're having a crack. You can't compare that to Saints.
No. They're well above.
Let's Amazon that wooden spoon to Cogra now because,
mate, honestly, if there isn't a wooden spoon at Cogra or Wynn Stadium, this year, I will be extremely surprised because the only team, the team closest to them on the ladder is actually Canberra at the moment, and I don't think Canberra are going to get it. So,
yeah, it's mate, Ricky and his boys. We'll dive into that, but before that, Cronulla 36. Wise 22, high scoring one at Portaloo Shark Park Stadium.
Portaloo Stadium, yeah.
Is Nico back, mate? He had a crack.
He had a crack, but Nico does this sometimes. He'll show up and then he disappears for 5 weeks, and it's all on Trindle's shoulders. I said this to a mate of mine who's a Cronulla fan last year. I was like, everything that Cronulla do on the back of Trindle. If Hines shows up, it's a bonus. And that's the thing. When they both show up, yeah, you got to be scared. But hopefully they used all their magic before Perth this week. Would be nice.
Well, yes, I think it. Hopefully, it's the case of when I think Cronulla they put a number on. Jeez, it could have been. It was before they versed Penrith, and then Penrith beat them. So hopefully they get really high on this win. All right.
Yep.
But they credit to Wise. They had a crack as well, mate. We're telling Zalesniak.
Yeah, first
hat trick.
Was it first half hat trick? Wasn't it? Yeah.
Could have went for a fourth.
Yeah.
So
He's a freak though.
And that's the thing, mate. As soon as, I don't want to give him any. I don't want to diss the bloke, but when I think he came back for the Warriors and the halves.
Oh, Metcalf. Well, he's
now he's injured, right? But they were looking good at that stage, and he's come back in, and they've collected a few losses. But that's not on him. I think it's just.
I'd be curious to see if once he's ready to go, if Webby goes, look, just go into New South Wales Cup.
I think that's what they should have done.
Work a bit, get your confidence back up. ACLs are tough to come back from. I know it's a very common thing that happens now, like one or two happen every year, but you do need to build that confidence back up, especially for a playmaker where your knees are so important to you. If you're front row and you're just running forward, not as bad, but for a half, you need to just get some confidence under your feet.
And Nui, mate, Nova Castroons, they turned up 32. And so did the teammate. Canberra 12. And I think it's going to be a long year for Stick.
Yeah, I part of me feels like they've still got that hangover from last year.
He may never shake it.
Nah.
This one's really getting to him, Stick. And I thought 6 again got to him, right?
Tamale.
But this is a time, right, when you look back and think, Stick, he was jumping up and down, mate. Like his gum that he was chewing for 14 fucking games.
14 years.
14 years. Fell out, and they probably go beat Melbourne the next week. Oh, sorry. Who did Broncos beat? Oh, no, they would have beat Penrith, and they would have won the comp.
Yep.
All right, that's what I reckon. But we're talking about this game. Nui, mate, Dom Young, he plays different in that.
That red and blue.
Just that red and blue.
Maybe it's the white. That was the issue at the Roosters. He had the white there.
Yeah.
That was the issue.
And it was such a good play. Just that last try to seal it.
Yeah.
It was Sharp, Fletcher Sharp.
Yep.
Down the right side. Kind of stepped in a little bit. Passed on the outside to Dom, and mate, it's just it's rugby league at Max Stadium, isn't it?
Do you, look, and Holbrook has obviously done something up there to get them back to this. He's obviously done something. But do you think the Titans are looking at that going, shit, we should have kept him? But the Dogs are looking at the Knights going, the Knights are scoring a lot of points this year. Maybe we shouldn't have hired their head coach as our attacking coach.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you can open up a
can of worms there, but Holbrook has done something up there. He's really, he must have brought them back to what it means to play footy in Newcastle because they're different now.
Mate. And shout out, mate, when they put that orange.
Oh, I love that mining shirt. It's so good.
I think it's a really good touch for the people in Newcastle.
Yeah, it represents them.
It does, mate. They're just miners, mate. They're battlers.
As I said to you and Benny, the greatest alternate jersey for any club is that mining jersey. I just love it.
You reckon?
Yeah, it's just because...
It's rugby league.
It's rugby league, mate. It brings you back to the 90s, the coal mine, the steel mines that they've got up there, like the steel infra builds and that. Mate, it's beautiful. I love it. I think it's great.
If other clubs had to have a jersey, right, to represent the area, put you on the spot here, what would it be like? Well, if Souths had to wear a jersey, right? like what would they wear?
Can it be a Centrelink office?
I mean, sure, mate.
I see. The problem is, right? You look at Newcastle, and it's like it's a mining town through and through. You look at Cronulla, what are you going to do? A beach. You look at South Sydney, what are you going to do? Like that Redfern area, it's a bit built up. Like you can put high rises there, like Alexandria-ish.
Yeah.
The Chooks, you do like a beach. And
They kind of did that like with the Bondi Auckland Nines.
Yeah,
the
that
pavilion.
wavy. Who else have we got? Canberra. Well,
I reckon you just do a bit like a Milk or like Parliament House.
would you do Milk or Parliament House? The Warriors, you just have like this massive warrior, like Sharks, you just put
Your Sharks.
Cronulla Beach with a shark.
and then maybe like
Manly. See, Manly's a beach.
Yeah, Manly. Who knows? What would you put for Manly?
Would you put a big spoon for the Saints or just a big L?
You put an L on the spoon.
You put an L on the spoon.
Yeah.
We suck.
But no. Good on the Knights. They won without no Ponga, no Brown.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like what the Tigers are doing as well. And we're going to get into it right now, mate.
God, what a game this was.
Tigers 22, Parramatta 20.
Jock, the big cock, Madden.
Jock the big cock, Madden, mate. Man of the match for me.
Oh, 100%, yep.
Kicked
No
well.
disagreement.
Got every kick he did. I thought he just had a solid game, mate. He directed them well around the park.
Yep.
And I thought he didn't get in the way of Dewey. Where Dewey likes to run a bit, right?
Yeah. He opened Dewey up to allow Dewey to run.
Look, there's obviously going to be a bit of controversy. There's a few things that played out. Parrot got off the front. 10-0. But then, look, credit to Tigers. They got back to 12-10. I think there was moments where, look, both teams could have capitalised more.
Yeah.
I thought with Parra, I think even Josh Odekai had a ball thrown to him, knocked that on.
Yeah, the one in the corner that he still put down.
And even Tigers, I thought, Taruva, mate, he's such a little... He's just got so much energy.
A little nugget.
Sometimes, like, when you're playing footy, you're in your zone, and you're not even, you zone out everyone around you. If he just passed the ball inside or outside, they could have picked up a few other tries.
But did you see Joash Papali'i, after they took him over the line, and Joash is just in his face? I was like, dude, I kind of like that. There's a bit of passion coming through.
Yeah, it's rugby league, mate. It's rugby league. And
Moses.
Well, before Moses, how about the incident where...
Oh, yes.
Was it Bailey Simonson? Was it Simonson? Yes.
Yeah, it was Simonson. And earlier report is he's off to hospital with a possible dislocated ankle. I agree with the call. I agree with the result in process. But damn, I wish they threw punches. If you were ever going to throw punches in a game, that was the time to do it.
What, when he was down injured?
No, they're off to the side of him. If you're going to get angry and want to start something, do it properly there and then. Appy came over and started chirping a bit. We know Appy likes to chirp a bit.
Yeah. I think it's... Yeah, when the player's down in the cab, the medicabs on the field.
Let that happen.
When you reckon let him fight on the side.
No. Let the medicab. As long as they're nowhere near him, I don't care. Go for it.
Because
but
if
if you're
that
near
would be
him,
very
don't.
ugly scenes. If you're having a fight and then someone tips over on the cab mate, that's peak. That's something.
I mean, it'd be hilarious. But if you're gonna fight, make him literally. If you're Peter Goff, just be like, boys, if you want to throw punches, walk 10 meters that way. It's all good. Just throw them over there.
And I'm sure a lot of Parramatta fans would like this. But what do you think about Goff's performance?
Mate, to be honest, I thought it was the best referee of the weekend. He had a lot of issues. I mean, there's a few moments. Of course, they involved Moses. But Moses came to him and was screaming at him and swearing. And his first words were, Mitch, first of all, don't come and swear at me. We will talk about that in a moment. Let me do what I need to do first. And there was multiple times Moses are coming out, screaming at him. And he stayed cool, calm, collected. The Lebo hands. You know?
Yeah.
Hey, give me a penalty. I want a challenge.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I actually think Goff handled it really well. But also, at the end there with the Dylan Walker penalty for being offside, I don't disagree with the call. I think he was offside from when we watched the vision.
As harsh as it is, it's...
Every time Walker was like, wah, rah, rah, he was like, go. Dylan, go. Adam Carr came over. No, go. And he just spoke to Mitch. That's his job. He's the captain. That's his job. I think it was the best refereed game this weekend. Not that there was much controversy this weekend, but I think everyone's like, oh, there's controversies. I don't think there was. I think the only controversy would be Moses milking for a penalty. Mate, if you're basically lying on the ground and someone accidentally slaps you, if they come in with a swinging arm, 100% you got to penalise that. They're coming around there trying to wrap the ball and all that while you're falling and just nick you. grow some balls, stand up, don't be a sook, let's go.
So you think in Mitch's mind he's gone, all right, look, I've got hit here. Obviously got the penalty.
100%.
He's thinking, all right, we've wrapped this up here. Like, we've wrapped it up. Do you think it was a right call from Goff when the Tigers player got hit high? Do you think that was high?
Yeah, because it came in, hit him, shoulder to neck, and then even lifted off that. So, 100%. But even that's a nearly, 30 metres from the try line, and then once you go across, that's a 55-metre kick there.
Yeah.
And he nailed it.
He did. And you see, guys, he doesn't always hate on the refs.
I don't know. I actually, like, when the refs get it right, I will sit there and be the first person to be like, you know what? Great job, great call. Goff.
They weren't.
Goff nailed it this weekend. And to me, Klein's still shit. I hate Klein. He's still shit. Yeah. Sutton's still a bit
Well, Klein was actually got papped to the races on Saturday. He was down there.
Of course he did.
Yeah, he was.
Of course he did.
I don't know where. I did get a picture. It got sent in to me.
That doesn't surprise me at all because, he probably spent more time at the races than he did worrying about his football game. But, it's good to see these guys like Goff, who are not the bigger names, but they're actually getting out there, putting in great efforts, and they're controlling the game well. So, credit to him. I don't think it was as controversial as people, aka Parramatta fans, probably think it is. I think it was good.
To put the icing on the cake, I think Para fans, I think they like to look for a bit of an excuse or someone to blame.
We all do it. Yeah, we all do it, man. When the Roosters lose, we all do it.
Yeah, if it's valid though.
Yeah. Sometimes the rose-coloured glasses, and guilty is charged. But sometimes you just got to take the rose-coloured glasses off and go, yeah, you know what, that was our fault.
If Para win, you're not going to hear a whisper out the ref, are you?
Nah, mate, they're going to say how great he was because they won.
All right, so maybe Moses field goal next week, maybe.
Mate, you said field goal. I said he'd get injured. He was getting his thigh compressed. Therefore, I was right. He did get injured. Thank you for confirming that for me.
The RMTV podcast is brought to you by FDS Eyewear. FDS Eyewear is your one-stop shop for quality, affordable eyewear. With the latest lens technology and weekly eye testing services, FDS Eyewear provides competitive rates over the larger optical retailers. Visit their store at Wentworthville Plaza, just a short drive from Parramatta.
Dribble of the week, mate. Dribble of the week.
I've been waiting all week for this.
Now this is
weekend.
Well, let's get into the juicy stuff right now. So this is, this is rugby league gossip, mate. This is new idea sprinkled rugby league, right? This is something like you'd think your nana's gonna read, right? Your Woman's Weekly, but this is what Geordie's been reading, mate. Jake Trbojevic. All right. So Ben Dobbin, he said on Triple M that he claims that obviously Jakey and Siebes didn't see eye to eye. All right. Different communication style between the two, different tactics, right? There was Jake reportedly he wasn't happy about the way the team wanted to play. Jakey wanted to be a bit more traditional, up the middle, right? But Siebes wanted to capitalise on the speed of the backs and really use the edges, right? Sweep to the edges, to which what they did in the first minute against us Chooks.
It's what they've done all year to score their tries.
Yeah.
Go to the edge and bang.
And Jakey, while they were going to the edges, Jakey, the first 3 rounds, as we touched on, didn't really run that much, right?
I fucking didn't.
Didn't get many meters, didn't take many hit-ups. To which, against the Dolphins, mate, 6 hit-ups, 81 meters. He had a decent little hit-out against the Finns. Best hit-out of the year. You would agree to that, right?
Oh, mate, he almost single-handedly smashed every offensive stat from rounds 1 to 4, well, even though they only played 2 games or 3 games in that, by what he done in round 5. And that is what he's about to piss me off.
So did it's a bit of a loaded question this, but did Jake purposely, not run the ball and try and do very little under Siebes?
I'll answer it this way. If I'm a Manly fan, I would be questioning why my team tanked the first 3 games of the year. I would be questioning why they lost the first 3 games of the year at home just to get their coach fired. Now, I've been waiting all weekend for this. I've been ropeable since Thursday night.
I thought you'd be keen. So you've been more keen on this or the Chockies this weekend?
Mate, I've been more keen on this. Honestly, not Asada, but the NRL look into them for match fixing because that's how pissed off I am.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly match fixing.
So what have you put in your notes, mate?
Right. Jake Trbojevic, in the first 3 games of the year, right? 10 hit-ups, 12 runs, 91 run meters, 21 post-contact meters. In round freaking 5 alone, 6 hit-ups, 4 less, 8 runs, 4 less, 81 run meters, 10 less than he'd done in 3 games combined, 25 post-contact meters, so more than he's done in the first 3. You're going to tell me that Anthony Seibold is the fucking reason you couldn't do that? That is bullshit.
So you think
that is I genuinely think he has done it out of spite. There is no way that you can turn a performance like that. And I'm not just saying just Jakey. I'm talking about the whole Manly team. There is no way. Tom Trbojevic is the only one I believe has consistently tried every single week. Even Ola Kawatu was shit the first 3 weeks of the year. Had a massive game.
Yeah.
The Finns were bad, right? Anyone would have beaten them. But not to a point where you can eclipse your first 3 games numbers in one game. Like, there is a genuine issue there. And I think, if I'm Siebes, respectfully, I'm going to be fucking dirty at them all. Because I think it's an absolute load of shit. There is no way you play that badly for 3 games and then pull that out of your fucking ass.
It's remarkable, mate. You don't think
it's not Foz.
You don't think Jakey there was something in the air up in Redcliffe, or it wasn't to do with his headgear,
mate?
Mate,
you know what? The headgear made more meters last week than he did in the first 3. So you're gonna tell me is that there's no way it's the headgear? Like if I'm a Manly fan, I'm asking for a refund on my season membership because of that crap. And I know they were all cheering crap about Siebes out, but
I think
horse.
Yeah. I honestly, I was watching it, and you got to feel for Siebes. You're looking at this, right, and you think, all right, look, if Manly beat Dolphins like 20-18, you think, oh, okay, look, they just won, but they went out there 52. And logged them right, and they were just even in the crowd. Look, you had the owners up there, you had the Pens mate.
Oh, he needs to fucking go.
You had the CEO,
Jason King,
and obviously Foz.
He'll go eventually.
Yeah. Well, time will tell, but I think playing devil's advocate here, right? I think you got to look at it as, I reckon a lot of Manly fans, they sacrificed 3 losses so they could get rid of Siebes, right? A lot of fans, every fan I spoke to, mate, they wanted him gone. Siebes gone, blah, blah, blah. Thoughts?
What did Foran do differently that Seibold hasn't done for the last 3 weeks? What did Foran do differently? Because you can't say the team.
The team was the same.
The team is the exact same minus one change, which was Fulalawa came onto. Clayton Fulalawa came onto the wing for Jason Saab, who was suspended for that shot on Savala last week.
Yep.
That is the only change they made. It was the same hooker. Manly fans, we want Wakeham gone. All of a sudden, they're kissing his ass, telling how great he is after Thursday night. Well, you know what? He started against us.
Yeah.
Seibold would have won that game 40-18 as well, 52-18 as well. There was no way Foz in 4 days. Now, if they'd had a bye and then came out the week after and done that, I could go, all right, Foran's had time to, put in
very
place
short
some things.
turnaround, man.
It was a very short turnaround. What was it? The Friday night.
Thursday they played.
But Friday night they fired
Siebes,
after the
Friday,
Roosters fired Siebes. Saturday morning they named Foran, which I think was just giving in to peer pressure from the old boys and the fans because they wanted an old boy in there. And even the way that Jake Trbojevic has done interviews. So there's a Ben Dobbin one, obviously. I think he was on, was it 360?
Well, that's what I was about to touch on. No, he was talking to the Sunday Footy Show panel.
Sunday Footy Show, that's
and
right.
they pretty much asked him about, from the way I saw it was, obviously Siebes has left, mate, and, Jake, he's a lovely bloke. He was just saying, look, he's gone, but he had this big grin on his face that he couldn't wipe off.
Mate, he had such a smart-ass grin on there, I wanted to slap his face.
Yeah.
I cannot see that sort of change around in a team in a week unless
I think this
they were purely doing it because they despised the coach. That's the only thing I can see. And if that's the case, well, you know what? Seabold should have a job and they should have had their contracts ripped up. Yeah. Because if you're going to do that from a fan's point of view, you're a disgrace. To me, it is borderline alleged match fixing. And that is a genuine issue. Like, if the players have that much control...
Sounds like we're talking about the IPL, mate, now.
Mate, the IPL doesn't match fix. The BCCI tells them exactly what to do.
Yeah. I think, you're very fired up about this one. I
don't like it.
I think the Manly fans are, I think it's safe to say they're happy. I think they're really, what's the word I'm looking for here? They're indulging in Fozball.
All right.
And the premiership run starts now. That's what they're saying, mate, on the peninsula.
But, mate, what they say across the spit bridge doesn't really matter to the world of normal people. Let's be fair. But let's think of it this way, right? Foreigners picked the same team as Seabold. If Seabold was still the coach, how many people would have been going, that's a shit team, you shouldn't have picked it?
Yeah,
but Foreign picked it, say, it's great. I get it, you don't like Seabs. There's been some issues. But with coaches, I give you a 3-year rule, right? First year, you just got to come in, work out what's going on, balance around, see what's going on. Year 2, you start to implement your stuff. Year 3 is when that roster starts to become yours. Seabold was into year 3. This year was the year he had a chance. And I still think if Seabold was coach, they would have comfortably won against the Dolphins. Yep. No. It wasn't Seabs. It wasn't Foreign. It was the players going, we got what we want. Now the coach is gone. Let's do this. And when there's only 17 jobs, that is horseshit.
Yeah, and I think I always stand firm on they probably should have gave him the 3 away games.
Yep.
And you'd look at it as a case of, they beat Finns, probably going to beat Dragons, and then they'll verse, I think, the Cowboys, maybe. And then that's 3 wins, 3 losses, and you're going up against Para at Brookie on a Sunday Arvo, where you think, all right, man, they get up for this, and then Siebes is 4-3. So, and it's also another case of as soon as a coach gets sacked, the team always turn up.
Well, actually, so that's got actually been disillusioned. They were talking about it on Thursday night.
I think I did hear this as well.
Was it Vossi and Brandy were calling the
a
game
load
on
of
Fox
shit?
still. And they're like, they've only won 30% of the time when the coach has been sacked.
Right.
It's the week after that where it goes up to 70%.
Oh, God. So Dragons fans.
Well, look, you know what, right? If I was a Manly fan, and thankfully I've never had the displeasure of being a Manly fan, but if you went to the Finns and you had a tight game with the Finns, I still think they would have beaten them. And then you went to St. George and lost, I would be like, I can understand why you've sacked Anthony. But there is nothing about what they've done that makes sense. In fact, the person who should get sacked is probably Scott Penn. Like I said last week, 4 CEOs, 4 coaches, 2 of them legends of the club.
I think 7 CEOs.
7 CEOs, sorry, yeah. And 2 of them are legends of the club in Tuvi and bloody Desi Hasler. Mate, there is more issues in that club in the back rooms than there is on the field. But the fact of the matter is, something is not right at Brookvale for them to turn out a performance like that after their coach gets sacked. I think it's so wrong. No. That's my rage bait for the week as well. Click that on YouTube.
There you go,
TikTok, sorry.
And who knows, mate? The wars of Brookie. Maybe we'll never know what went down. But
oh, God, I hope it comes out one day.
Yeah, let's talk about the wars of the St. George Illawarra merger, Dragons.
Coach number 2 to get fired this year.
Look, they got smoked by the Cowboys, and Flano at full time just told the press he doesn't have the answers, mate. He doesn't have the answers.
I love his honesty, though.
Oh, it's good honesty, right? And obviously, he's probably his son went down. That was a big, heavy hit on Kyle as well.
Yeah, and he's already said he's there's minimum 2 weeks. He may come back for Anzac Day if he's lucky.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
It'd be nice because we'd run rings through him.
So when does Flano get the sack, or more so, are Dragons going to hold on for a bit? Because apparently I saw a report this week that some of the players, they're not extending their contracts yet, which kind of...
They've put a freeze on it, which means they're more likely that means there's going to be a new coach. But I want to look at the Dragons' form this year, right? They lost game 1 in Vegas to the Dogs, which, to be fair, I mean, the Dogs got the rub of the green that game, and I think Dragons had a shot at winning it.
And that's when Flano also said in that TikTok, stick with us. Yeah. We're only going to come better. And Who knows? Maybe the jet lag from Vegas has really affected.
Well, the very next week you're playing Melbourne. Melbourne beat them 46-20. You know, Melbourne were very good that week.
But even I thought in patches there, I thought, like, yeah, 46-20. Like,
showed.
Yeah.
Then they had Parramatta. They lost 30-20, which, again, they were in the game for like 50 to 60 minutes and then just sort of dropped off. And then they had the Titans game. They lost 22-14. They were in it for majority of the game, and then the Titans ran away late. So it's not like they've been blown off the park, with the exception of probably that Melbourne game, 46-20, and now the Cowboys. But the issue is, right, they play Manly next week. They're probably not winning that.
I think, I reckon this is Flanagan's last crack.
I'm going to read this, and I want you to tell me when you think they're going to get their next win, all right? Manly.
No.
South. No. Anzac Day against the Roosters.
No.
The Knights.
Maybe.
Penrith.
No, fuck no.
The Warriors.
At home?
At home.
Maybe that could be maybe the Wars.
Do you want to know what round that is?
13?
12.
I think, look, they've got a tough run. Look at the teams they've versed. Like, they lost to Titans, Cowboys. They've got men. Like, you're not up against your Broncos of the world, your Penriths, right?
Yeah.
So, the heat's going to be on Flanner this week. Obviously, the fans want him gone, right? It's another case of Siebes out. Mate, look, if they sack him, right, are they going to do what Manly did, bring in like an interim, like a... Who is it Matt Cooper?
Dean Young's.
Oh,
I think Dean Young's still there.
Not Matt Cooper, sorry. Dean Young. Yeah. He was up at the Cowboys for a bit. Do they bring in an old boy?
Well, look.
Are old boys the answers?
I was thinking about this, right? And I was thinking about the Dragons over the last few years. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday he's a Dragons fan. He was out there. He was one of the ones booing them at halftime.
Did you see like their poker faces?
Yeah. I think the players don't have answers. But what this fan said to me was, I don't think the coach is the issue. The players are the issue.
Yeah. You can't always blame the coach, man.
No. And I think they don't have the right players there now. Atkinson is good, but Atkinson's got nothing around him. Gutho, getting older at times, is actually probably more of a liability than he is. Albeit, he has probably been one of their best and most consistent this year. Damien Cook, renowned famous beach sprinter, but just doesn't...
Can he still hold that title at the beach?
He's struggling at the moment. Like, you can see him struggling. Jacob Little, who's a very good dummy half, is getting very limited minutes because they're keeping Cook on too long. Like, that is a coaching decision, but, like... I think if the Dragons can string together, and I'm not saying wins, quality games where they're in it, they're competing,
scoring a try at least.
Yeah, scoring a try or a couple of tries.
Because my multi-mate, Christian Moneyman,
I
didn't see the money. I didn't see the money at all.
Mate, I don't think you'll be asking for the money anytime soon either. But, like, if round 10 is the Knights game, round 11 is Penrith, so you're writing off round 11. So by round 10, if they can't put together some good games or at least get a win without a bye, then I think he goes.
Yeah.
Or he's at least told at the end of the year, you're done.
And I think sometimes clubs, they're always quick to say, nah, like, you're done, right? And, like, do they give him the year? Do they try for next year? And it's just that old, it's like around and around in circles. We get another coach in. Like, I think the best example is the Titans, mate. Like, that club,
if Holbrook was still there,
they would actually, bro. Like, I think getting rid of Holbrook just to bring in Desi was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
Because look how crap they went under Desi. But again, it comes back to what I said to you about the 3-year rule. First year, you've got to find out what the fuck's going on there. Second year, you can implement. Third year, now that you're building your roster, you got to be doing it. Look at Benji. This is his third full year. And look what the Tigers are doing at the moment. You got to give a coach 3 years. And Holbrook, if he was still at the Titans, guarantee they would have won 2 or 3 more games this year.
Wouldn't that throw a span in the works? So if their first win of the year was against Penrith?
You know what? I could see it happening, though. I could see it happening.
Chooks beat Penrith last year, early in the season.
Round 2, yeah.
$11 and did the unthinkable. It's rugby league. Anything can happen. Now let's touch on Penrith here, mate. They're looking scary.
Oh yeah.
I think every journo and commentator was always, who's going to stop them? Blah blah blah. We're all hearing it, right?
Yeah.
You can throw a lot of questions out there. Are they unstoppable? Are they peaking too early? Are they going to do the opposite of last year? Where last year they were down, then went up. Are they going to go like that? Or do you think I think what it is, it keeps popping up on my TikTok feed. And this journo asked Cleary, both the Clearys, Ivan and
after the
Ivan
Broncos
and
game, yeah.
He's like, oh, obviously, mate, the dynasty's over. I was like, what's over? And Nathan had this devilish grin, and I saw it and I thought, fuck, that's not good. And now I think that's the receipt. I reckon that's all they play throughout the Penrith HQ, just that question.
Oh, they would have had that on repeat during preseason. Like, you boys are tired? Listen to what this dickhead asked me.
Yeah, Penrith love doing that. They'll keep receipts. They'll keep the receipt of when Willie Mason at levels said Penrith won't make the 8.
Yeah.
I always thought after losing to Brizzy in that prelim, they'll bounce back.
Yeah. I think the reason they've really come out to a flying start this year the way they have is because of last year. They don't want to repeat that. Once we hit the origin period, I think that's when they might start to lose some games because you're losing To'o, you're losing Yo, you're losing Cleary, Liam Martin.
They could lose up to 10 players, mate.
Mate, they could, Dylan Edwards. Like, unfortunately, I know I hate to say it.
He'll keep his spot.
But Edwards will keep his spot at fullback. He's been brilliant this year, bar a couple of points. I personally hope they do falter at the end. I hope they went too early, too quick. But knowing Ivan, once they get to the end there and people are nursing injuries and they're tired, it's fine. You rest. We've locked up top 8. You have a rest.
Yeah,
you have a rest.
They did do that a lot of the years.
Well, look at last year. They only had one regular first grader play against the Dogs last year, and that was Matt Eisenhuth, who'd spent most of the year in New South Wales Cup anyway.
Yeah, it was quite controversial. Controversial at the time.
Dick move.
Yeah. But I think that's what they're looking for. Lock up that top 4 ASAP. That's when Cleary can go on his rendezvous over to,
go see Mary for a bit.
Yeah, see Mary, have some ice creams. Watch Penrith under 20s, just like smoke, your Dogs of the world again, your Titans. And
Dragons.
then final 6, right? I have this prediction I want to drop at some stage of the year.
Ooh.
Really depends on where the Chooks are at, but it's...
You reckon the Chooks will knock them off in the grand final or something?
No comment.
We're going to keep... Okay.
No comment.
Look, I think the one thing that every team needs to be scared of is this Penrith team right now is better at this point in time than any of the 4 that won premierships. I think that is safe to say at the moment. The way they're playing is next level.
Yeah, it's
and you got to respect it.
You got to. And mate, they'll lose all these players and another one will come through. Look at Jenkins, mate. He was playing for St. Mary's. Now look at him. Top try scorer. It's only round 5.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
Look, credit to them. They've obviously got such a great system there that they put in place. Phil Gould's 5-year plan took 15 years, but he got them there.
Mate, you got them there, and they might be going for what? A 5th title in 6 years.
Well, I mean, with the exception of last year, they made every grand final since 2020.
The RMTV podcast is brought to you by The Legal Problem Solver. The team brings over 25 years of experience in wills, probate, estates, conveyancing, property and commercial law. Connect with The Legal Problem Solver on LinkedIn, Facebook and Instagram.
All right, mate, let's dive into round 6, shall we?
Well,
now Thursday night, this is...
Speaking of Penrith.
If you're a Dogs fan, you might want to pray now because they're up against Penrith at a core, actually.
At a core, it's a Dogs home game. But this also does give me, and I hate to say it because I don't think the Dogs can do it, but, the Dogs are at $5.50, Penrith at $1.15. It gives me the vibes of that round 2 game against the Chooks last year. It really does, hey.
Yeah, it does a little bit. I just can't tip against Penrith, mate.
No,
I think neither. I think 99% will tip Penrith bar, like your Emilios of the world for the Dogs.
It'd
right?
have to be like a diehard Winston Neville, Dogs fan to do it, like Hectic Fred and that. Like they'd be the only ones. So I think it's safe to say Penrith 13+.
Yeah. Penrith 13 plus. I think the Dogs, they have a few issues at the minute. Right. They're going to be mixing things up this week as well. Obviously, Crichton. Yeah. And that's a scary thing as well. Like, Crichton's their voice.
Which is sad, though, when they have two halves.
They're losing their voice, right? And, they're just going to... It's going to be dire.
It's not going to be pretty.
And then we roll into
Friday, 6 p.m. down in Wollongong. The St. George Illawarra Dragons versus the Manly Seagulls. St. George, $2.46. Manly, $1.55. I am backing Manly for this one, and I would back them no matter what on that game because they should not lose.
Yeah, look, I'm going Manly.
Do you reckon they're going to do a repeat of what they've done to the Finns?
Manly 13 plus.
Yeah.
I'll go 1 to 12. I think Saints are going to actually try and have a crack this week.
Yeah.
I think just some classy star players from Manly will get them over the line. Yeah, Ola Kawadas of the world. Like Tommy, I could see Turbo.
Tommy's been great this year, though, to be fair. He's the one guy in that team I can't fault at
I could see him getting 2. And just to rub it in, I could see Jakey scoring 1 just for you.
Yeah, just for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put his face next to Mulatalo's. Look, Friday night, 8 p.m, though, you'll never guess where the game is.
Oh, it's got to be Brisbane, right?
It's got to be Brisbane.
Yeah.
The Brisbane Broncos and the North Queensland Cowboys.
Ooh, another Queensland derby.
But it's an interesting one. So what is it? Possibly no Reynolds, no Hunt, no Reece Walsh.
And you know what that means?
No toilet water.
Cowboys 13 plus for me.
I'm going Cowboys 1 to 12.
Yep.
I'm going Cowboys. I think the Cowboys will just get it done. I don't think Ezra Mam is good enough to win them the game without a proper halfback.
Yeah.
So
I could see a situation where it'll be close in the first. I think the Cowboys think they'll have a really good game, put a good score on. Maybe like your
Drinky and Dearden.
Yeah, like your 30 to 20 of the world or something like that,
Yeah.
And I think the Cowboys, because they had a great win against Saints, obviously, but maybe pull on a few wins. They're flying under the radar, the Cows.
They are. Dearden and Drinky up there are doing some good work. Reed Marnie, another one of those guys, part of that curse of the Dogs last year.
Yeah. He'd be laughing now, wouldn't he?
But then we get to flip our switch from Brisbane to Perth. 3 p.m, Saturday the 11th of April. The South Sydney Rabbitohs paying $1.52 versus the Canberra Raiders paying $2.52.
I see probably South's going 1 up here again. Probably South 13 plus for me. I'm
going to go 1 to 12 again.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think it's just going to be a really tough year, searching for answers for Canberra.
Yeah.
Even, it's the morale looked a bit low against Nui. They looked a bit lost out then.
Very.
Yeah, I think they'll continue to slowly build Souths, and I hate to say it. But yeah, I think they'll get the win.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
And we
2 weeks in a row we back South. It feels wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right, does it? But we did talk about this doubleheader over in Perth. I think late last year I was on the fence about going, but I tell you what, mate, it's not across the road, is it?
If it wasn't for the bloody flight prices, I would have gone. I was legitimately planning on going, me and the missus, but
I looked the other day and I think it was around that $1,000 mark. One of those Jetstar holiday packages, right?
Yeah, well, I looked.
It's like the Bogan bargain.
Right? I looked at Qantas. Flights alone were like $1,700 each.
Yeah, and we're not watching this game in like England. This is Perth we're talking about.
Perth. It's Optus Stadium, which is obviously not a purpose built. You know what? If they took these games to HBF Park, I wouldn't have mind that. The Forcer in Fiji, they could have done it.
I think it's a big Optus game. I think they're trying to pull a crowd of Perth.
You've got to get ready for next year.
Yeah, and I think they won't have any AFL on, so they always time it where.
Yeah, they kind of do it well with the AFL draw. But the main event of Perth, mate, the Battle of the Beaches, the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks paying $1.97 versus the Sydney Roosters at $1.87.
Wow, the bookies they've got it really tight there.
Radley's back.
Ooh,
Spencer Leniu is possibly back. It's very likely they will both play. Well, Radley's confirmed, pretty much. Leniu's more than likely going to play. which means we will, for the first time this year, have our first choice team on the park.
Billy Smith?
Billy Smith is a maybe.
So we're pretty much at there.
There was no confirmation that he genuinely has a major issue coming out there. He was cleared of anything major, and so it might have just been a niggle that happened at Manly. So the week off probably helped him. But if he plays, that's our first choice team on the field. I can see the Roosters upsetting the Sharks as a bit of payback from last year.
Correct. I think that as well. I think Cronulla will be high on their own supply.
Yeah.
After that win against the Warriors,
smoking their own juices there.
Yeah, look, they make good things. You know, it's all alleged over in Cronulla. I don't know what they get up to, but
I've seen so many Cronulla stickers in the last 2 days, and it pisses
and number
me
plates
off. And number plates. Yeah, I sent you the number plate today. Up.
Yeah. Look, Roosters statement game 13 plus. I think your first 20-30, it could be a bit back and forward.
Yeah.
I think defensively, that bye week, I think it was good for the club.
Yeah.
The players that looked like they were really relaxed. You got to
Cherry Evans was at the Easter show yesterday with the wife and kids.
Yeah, and then on Saturday he was at the races, mate. So he's soaking it all up.
He's enjoying it.
I think that's what they needed, the Chooks. Yeah. Statement game. If it backfires and Cronulla win, well, fuck.
Yeah, it is a big game early on in the year, isn't it? To just sort of stamp a bit of, all right, we need to get our for and against a bit better, but just to get a win out of that would be huge. I'm going 1-12. Now, this one could get dangerous on Saturday night, and I mean, it could get dangerous. Melbourne Storm $1.47, New Zealand Warriors $2.68 in Melbourne. I think Melbourne are going to really try and make a statement after last week. I think Bellyache will absolutely get them up for this. It's going to be a struggle for the Wars, I think.
Yeah, I reckon Webster's going to get the Wars up for this as well, mate.
You reckon?
Yeah, they're coming off
two losses in a row.
Yeah, look, I really don't know. You would have to look at this one. The last time Melbourne lost 4 in a row, maybe around an Origin period. I highly doubt it. Right?
Let's see what Google has to answer.
I'm going to go. I think Melbourne just in a tight one, but something is telling me the Wars. I just think the class of Melbourne will get them over the line here. I think you can see a few Warbrick tries. I think Grant will put in a good performance. I like after Bellamy says they can go and play reserve grade. As the players, you think fuck, we're gonna have to put on a game for Bellyache next week,
and he's gonna pump him up. But I'm gonna ask you. So Google's helped me out here.
Yeah.
When do you think the last time Melbourne lost 4 in a row was?
Was it? Is it 21st century?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
It's in the 20-somethings.
Maybe like 05?
It's 2015.
Okay.
That was the last time. Now, it was the middle of the season. When do you think the last time they lost 5 straight was?
Maybe 05.
2012, the year they won the premiership.
Wow, okay, all right. So it's not... Okay, fair
but
enough.
It's still been 11 years since they last lost 4 in a row, which is incredible, to be fair.
Who are you tipping, mate?
I'm going Melbourne. I think they're just... The Wars will win their next game when they're back home, but I just think Melbourne will be too turned on to go
clinical.
bang. They're going to want to put some damage on.
I'm going to go 13 plus Melbourne.
Yeah. And speaking of damage, this one could go either way. Parramatta, Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. Parramatta $1.45, Gold Coast $2.77 at CommBank.
I always find Titans are a bit of a bogey side for
That's what I mean. It could go
Parramatta.
either way, hey.
I just think it's going to be a masterclass from Moses in terms of how he
If you say field goal, I'm going to slap you.
With the ref. No, I think this will be more than a field goal, man. This is probably like a Moses try.
Yeah.
Para 13 plus for me. Yeah, I think they're going to go well here. And I find Para, they always have a lot of those Sunday Arvo games.
Well, this one's fair enough because obviously they played today and being Monday, so you need to give them the longest turnaround. But, yeah, look, I actually... Thinking about the Titans, I don't think they've got much injury concerns or anything coming out of that Broncos game that I can think of. I'm going to back the Titans 1-12.
Good on you. Someone's got to do it, mate. And look, if they get up, you can have the last laugh.
Mate, if they get up, I will be cheering.
And imagine if they get up and it's just off like a controversial like penalty kick.
Payback for when South robbed them last year.
And to finish it off, mate.
I wasn't sure the year it would be. I was expecting maybe 2030s, 2040s before I could say this. But the West Tigers in second place on the ladder, paying $1.65. Wow. Versus the Newcastle Knights in third place on the ladder, paying $2.24. This is the match of the round. And I don't know the last time when West versus Newcastle would have been the match of the round.
I want up here. Is this the grand final preview?
No. no. There's no Penrith.
mate. Well, if Penrith weren't in the league, then maybe we're talking
Mate, this might be
the
the runner-up medal. They're going to get a new trophy this year. It'll be for the runner-up. That's what everyone's playing for.
Mate, a few years ago, you're talking spoon bowl territory, but this is going to be a cracker at Leichhardt.
No, at Campbelltown. Now, a lot of people don't like Campbelltown, but
I'm not a big fan, eh?
Being born and bred over there, I've got a bit of love for Campbelltown, and there are a lot of people in Campbelltown that love their Tigers
and
we'll
rugby
get out
league.
there. Yeah, and look, it doesn't look as full as Leichhardt because Leichhardt fits about 12,000 less people, but I reckon they'll get a good crowd on Sunday, especially the way they're playing at the moment.
So Campbelltown can pack a bigger crowd than Leichhardt.
Campbelltown's like 25,000. They got grandstands both sides.
Wow, right, okay. Yeah, I think it must be that real nostalgic Leichhardt feeling,
Yeah. Leichhardt just seems bigger because they can only fit like 12.5 in, but it's an atmosphere thing.
This will be a cracking game, mate. The Novocastrians, they'll be partying well into this game up until kickoff, and I think just purely on the fact that Tigers are playing at home, or one of their 10th homes, I'm going to go Tigers 1-12. Another close one. But I think maybe high scoring. Maybe like 28-26. If this was at Newey, mate, I'll probably tip Newey.
Yeah, if it was at Newey, I'd go Newey. But I think at Campbelltown, I'm going to say Tigers. The way Benji has them playing at the moment, and your dad said it today, like they have that little Benjiness in each and every one of them. Shout out to Dino and FDS Eyewear.
Yes.
Got to give them the shout out. They deserve it. But yeah, just the way Tigers are playing, you know what it reminds me of? That 2005 Tigers team. Yeah. It's finally, there's excitement in everything. They're still making a few errors here and there, but not as much as they have the last few years. They're back. They're back to where they should be.
It's good. It's good for the game.
Great for the game.
I think it's the little things, mate. I'm being very particular here, but when you get your jerseys right, like there's some fucking hot jerseys they're wearing, mate.
Oh, I love them, yeah.
You get the jerseys right, they're going to play right, they're looking hot, mate.
Look good, play good.
Exactly. I'm going the Tigers, 1-12.
I'm going to go 1-12 as well, because I just, a bit of love to Sandon Smith and Dom Young. And
yeah, Sandon, he's playing well, mate.
He's doing well running that team, and Fletcher Sharp's just a freak, so yeah, I think they're gonna hang in the Tigers.
Yeah. And, mate, then Newey coming off a loss, will be up against the Roosters. So
that's going to be a cracker.
And I'll be up there at Newey, actually.
Yeah, you'll be at Newey, even though the game's at Allianz.
Yes. I know I'll be up there, but I will be packing my Roosters jersey, mate.
Good man.
All right, mate. Well, that's Easter weekend done. A lot to look forward to. But, I'm looking forward to Thursday night. And it's only, mate, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 sleeps.
Tuesday or Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. 3 sleeps and we're there.
All right, mate. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your notifications on YouTube. All right, mate. Have a good night, guys.
Have a great night, guys.